I'm Chitrature Raja from Maple, Ontario. I first set eyes on the Queen in April of 1954 when I was 3 years old and living in Sri Lanka. I vividly remember seeing her as her motorcade went by. After moving to Canada in 1973, I took every opportunity to get a glimpse of her when she visited Toronto. In October 2002, I was invited to a Golden Jubilee celebration at Copps Coliseum in Hamilton. I often wrote to the Queen and always received a response. In 2015, my husband and I were invited to Buckingham Palace for a garden party in recognition of my volunteer work. Today, although so many questions and concerns remain regarding the effects of colonization, especially in Canada, I always admired the Queen's work ethic and dedication to duty. May she rest in peace.
Hi, I'm Todd Noble.
And I'm Bryn Noble.
And we live in Jasper, Alberta. We have a very special memory of the Queen back in 2005 when Bryn was only 2 and was chosen to be a flower girl as the Queen and Prince Philip exited church here in Jasper. Bryn was lined up with a few of the other girls, and she suddenly broke rank and walked up in front of the Queen, lay down on the ground where the Queen stopped, helped Bryn up. Security wouldn't let me go and pick Bryn up, but the Queen then just kind of made sure Bryn was okay and carried on her way. Bryn followed her for a little bit before the Queen passed us, and then we were able to go and pick you up finally. But it was a very special moment. We look back on it with fond memories. You remember that?
I don't remember. I was 2, but I won't ever forget because everyone's always reminding me of it.
You'll never live it down.
No, probably not.
I'm Charmaine Reid from Niagara Falls, Ontario. I'm an Olympic badminton player, and while competing in the 2006 Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, Australia, I had the honor of meeting Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth was walking through the athletes' village when suddenly she approached and spoke to me. She asked me my name, where I lived, and the sport I played. What was striking to me was her genuine interest in badminton and the ways in which sports positively impact communities. I remember feeling inspired speaking to someone like her who dedicated their life to public service. As a woman in sport, I am grateful for the roles she played for women in position of leadership.
Hi, my name is Frances Howell and I'm from Cochrane, Alberta, and I would like to share with you my fondest memories of Queen Elizabeth. I grew up in a small coal mining community in central Alberta called Nordic, and I was 11 in 1953 when the Queen was crowned. At that time, our only source of information was the telephone and the radio, so we listened with excitement as we heard about the coronation. Nordic was a community that liked to celebrate everything. We had a big parade on that day of the event to commemorate this occasion. There were competitions for different entries. My mother spent hours decorating my bicycle with tissue flowers in honor of the Queen. She even hand-dyed the tissues to create different colors and patterns, and I won first prize in my category. My mother also made a Queen Elizabeth costume for my cousin Phyllis, and she won first prize for her category. That little girl who won first prize for her bicycle also got to meet Queen Elizabeth at a garden party in Buckingham Palace in July of 1971.
I'm Elizabeth Murray from Kingston, Ontario. In 1953, I was a young reporter with the Montreal Star and covered the coronation ball. I had listened to the coronation service on radio. TV only arrived in Canada the previous year, and few owned sets. As there was no cable link with London, reels of the coronation film were individually airlifted from London to Canada, then aired. As requested, I brought a friend, Ken, as my escort to the ball, which featured lots of dancing and champagne. It must have been a successful evening, for we married a year later, and in 2019 celebrated our 65th wedding anniversary. The coronation ball was a magical evening that inaugurated a new era, bringing us from the aftermath of war to the brilliancy of the digital age of the 21st century.
I'm Elizabeth Honoridis Leggett. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I immigrated from Cebu City, Philippines. I met the Queen, Elizabeth II, with Prince Philip 20 years ago in Toronto during their walkabout to celebrate the Golden Jubilee celebration. Prince Philip encouraged me to give my 3 golden yellow roses to the Queen. The Queen responded with a beautiful, gracious smile and a beautiful, warm, personal eye contact. I felt very blessed and happy. I was named after the Queen because I was born the same year she became Queen. Elizabeth means House of God. I felt very sad when I heard of the Queen's passing. I felt like losing another mother again, who died at the age of 96 years old as well. Thank you so much, Queen Elizabeth, for your dedicated service, your stability, unity, and harmony, your love, faith, and hope.
I'm Levine Lightbound, and I am the wife of pilot Jim Lightbound. He flew for Pacific Western Airlines, and he was very honored to be asked to be part of the crew that flew them when they were in Canada in 1970. But they were very gracious. He said that you couldn't have asked for a better company, and he commented on the beauty of the Queen and Princess Anne. And also he had a great time with Prince Philip, because Philip was in the cockpit for part of the flights, and he was aware of all the top places that they were going to be stopping. So he was very honored, and I'm just so happy that he got that time in, and I wish the very best for the whole family, and may the Queen rest in peace.